Welcome to another episode of the To Be Announced podcast, TBA for short.
Admittedly, it's still to be announced.
What
podcast is
yes, we're TBA. That's us. So today we're gonna start off with a little housekeeping for just the channel and upcoming videos, what we watched, all that kind of stuff. I think
We forgot to introduce ourselves.
Well, yeah, I'm Will.
I'm Win.
Same as last time.
There's Matthew over there.
We actually have both cameramen here today.
And there's Jacob. He's arting right now. He's doing our logos.
Totally gonna fart.
What?
Okay, I farted. I farted.
Nice. Oh, he said hello.
Nice. So we're gonna start with just some housekeeping for the channel. Obviously, this is a bit of a mess. Us. That's a bunch of
even our schedules are a mess.
Bunch of hot messes, if I do say so myself.
I'm not hot, but I'm a mess.
He's hot. All right. So like just the logo, our schedule for the videos, and just even the format of the episodes, it's going to be in flux for who knows how long because we're indecisive.
Yeah.
Like we literally couldn't think of a name, so we're to be announced.
Until we can get like comfortable with whatever.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of us are busy.
Get that feel. Yeah. But also just the set, obviously, if hopefully someone paid attention and knows, oh, something's different.
Yeah.
Stuff's changing.
There's no Jaws over there anymore.
New posters. New videos on both sides. Those will probably be changing every week just to give a different vibe.
I'm kind of feeling the Jaws back though. I want that back.
Yeah.
At some point.
Well,
there was that titty
we
over there.
talked about doing the green screen on the window. We could literally have like a shark swimming in the back.
Just move in the background.
I really want to do that. That could be
I think that'd be fun.
A job for when we make the new table we're hoping to get.
Yeah.
So that's just some little housekeeping just for the channel.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of just announcements just to get y'all in the know for future content. We said we would announce the next book club on
the streamcast.
I guess the next streaming cast.
Yeah.
But I think we'll just announce it in the next few episodes. So if you're watching this, you can see it and watch it ahead of time. And then we'll probably get it to where we announce it at the end of every book club and probably just continuously announce it throughout the week. I would think just so someone hops in and sees it and they can hop right in the book clubs with us. So this week, sticking with the Halloween theme, horror, we're going to do Altered States. It's I believe an 80s movie that I have watched recently and I really think Wynn should watch it. And
I'm going to watch it. I enjoyed House of a Thousand
Corpses. Yeah. We should do more Rob Zombie stuff because he is great.
That was funny as fuck. I love that.
I'm just gonna look at the year and who directed it because
there's a fly.
But
no, I love that House of a Thousand Horrors. It's such a refreshing thing. Or Corpses, House of a Thousand Corpses.
Sir.
I'm sorry.
You said that earlier, and I was like, it's fine. I'll let it pass. I'll let it pass.
I'm so used because like I was reviewing one of the podcast for the streamcast. I was reviewing that and we were talking about House of a Thousand Corpses and then you messed up at one point and then that just stuck with me because like you were like, oh, I think you were doing the outro.
I probably messed up. I'm not the best with words, but yes, Altered States 1986 directed by Ken Russell. So we're going to be watching that. We didn't say it with House of a Thousand Corpses, but for the book clubs we're going to try to stick to streaming so everyone can kind of have access to it so you don't have to go buy it from like a store or something. But this one's on HBO Max. We'll try and rotate like what it's streaming on for the most part. Some of them probably won't be on streaming just because we're going to be kind of picky maybe for a few. But Altered States, watch it, follow along with us, and we're going to have the same questions as we did on last episode. So, I mean, go watch that episode if you haven't, and we will see you in probably a few days or something. I think. Yeah. So next we're also going to announce that our next streaming cast, our whatever we'll name that one. We're just going to call it the streaming cast for now. This is, I would guess, the blockbuster cast for the most part, even though this week we did 2 at-home movies now. So those, but that could become the new blockbuster. We don't know. I mean,
I doubt it.
Well, Mulan's outdoing Tenet right now on money.
Really?
So
I didn't know that because they did a terrible job opening weekend.
Yeah,
the opening day was pretty bad.
So we'll see. But yes, next streaming cast it's going to be Enola Holmes with Millie Bobby Brown, Henry Cavill. And
who's the other guy? Because
there's someone else.
Twins or something like that.
I will look.
It's something like that.
I'm sorry, whoever we forgot.
But while he's looking that up, I do want to say that we do also have other content that we're gonna keep coming out like in the future. We're just trying to sort things out, get schedules done, and then try to make sure that everyone's included. Right now, we're limited to about 3 microphones at the moment, and in the future, we're probably gonna have a big table. So we're gonna have everyone in here.
Doria, Helen Bonham Carter, she's in Fight Club and
Wait,
Harry Potter.
Are you talking about that lady?
Yes, that lady. Literally, I love her.
Isn't she in Alice in Wonderland?
Yes. Yeah. She's the Queen of Hearts, and she's great. I love her in literally everything. It's okay.
You're just gonna murder a fly just randomly. All right.
that's my friend. I mean, we could also. I mean,
we didn't show them the cockroach.
I was about to say we could introduce them to Loki the cockroach.
It's a dead cockroach.
Yes,
Loki. His
name is Loki because he's next to the Loki pop figure. But
God damn.
We've got this big ass cockroach that. It was in my bathroom for maybe actually years.
That alone has COVID.
It's pretty gross.
There's hair on it.
Yeah. Who knows whose hair that is? But he's a big boy. His name's Loki now. He's part of the set forever, and if we lose him, I'll be upset.
No resurrections though.
No resurrections this time.
He's dead.
But so Enola Holmes next streaming cast. Watch that so you can watch the whole video with us because we will be talking non-spoilers and spoilers. So please watch that and watch our video.
You know how earlier we were talking about like the swear bucket or whatever.
Yes.
Every time we like quote like Marvel stuff or DC stuff.
I was gonna say a Marvel DC bucket would be. It would fill up quick. We'd run out of money. But so what he's mentioning is we want to do almost a I guess a trigger word almost every week or something, where it's like a swear jar essentially. Maybe have it in front of us and we'll have our little stacks of money and see who has less at the end. But every time you mention like you said Marvel, which we probably do mention quite a bit. So I mean obviously but just by the set we're kind of a.
For me, it should also be swearing because I swear a lot.
Yeah,
like
we're trying. I would like to make a little bit of family-friendly content so we don't get like demonetized or anything. But that's why I'm gonna learn to edit and make it family-friendly. But son of a bitch. But yeah, it is working. Look,
it's not even October yet.
I don't know if
this is out.
We're gonna have to wait for this to run because he'll just keep going.
It's probably just gonna keep going.
No. I love it.
It's spook season. This is out in October.
Okay, we're going to turn him off. Love Oogie Boogie, though.
Dude, look at him. He's vaping.
Literally my favorite Disney character of all time.
Oogie Boogie.
But okay, so we're going to move on to some more housekeeping, which is all our social medias are up. We'll have those down in the description. We tried to get them all the same so it could be very easy to follow. I think most of them are tba.entertainment, so those will be down in the description so you can just click the link and give us a follow and see what we're posting. And also we'll post before we post videos so you can keep up with that.
You might also get a sneak preview of like future like content and stuff.
Yeah, like
especially if we're like out there somewhere.
Like whenever this goes up in a week or two maybe. We'll probably a week. Well,
I mean, I didn't realize this, but like this week, it's gonna be October. It's gonna be October 1st, like on Thursday.
Yep.
I didn't realize that until just like.
Yeah, we're totally dating these videos, but it's whatever. Yeah. But the first 2 episodes on the channel are on a completely different set that's gone now. But It was a good set. R.I.P. set number 1. We loved you. But yes, so socials gonna be down in the description. Please give us a follow. Keep up with us. We're also gonna have our Patreon down there where you can see some what? Yes, it was my charger. It's fine. It cut that out. But yeah, there's going to be our Patreon down in the description as well. We're going to probably have some exclusive content on there. That's still being set up. But we're going to figure that out. Just like everything, it's being set up and all of it's going to be announced. Yeah. So
we literally mean like everything just got set up. Like even here, everything just got set up. We just have
the last few we've shot have been in a very messy room. It's actually kind of clean now, besides all the equipment. But I'm
proud of what we've done here.
For the most part, I think that's housekeeping for the channel. We're going to jump to a thing I think we'll do every episode of this is like what we watched this week.
Yeah.
So, of course, we're going to talk about Mulan and Antebellum in probably a couple minutes, so we'll get to that. But what have you watched?
I'm just starting Enola. Literally just like a few days ago.
Okay.
I haven't done that, and as far as like what I've watched, I don't think I watched anything new, except Mulan and Antebellum. Yeah, that's about it.
I think I'm in the same boat because I've kind of been pretty busy, but I think I did watch A Cool Dry Place, which is an old Vince Vaughn like romance drama, and it was a lot, and it wasn't very good, but.
Does Forgetting Sarah Marshall count?
Oh, I guess we did watch after we watched House of a Thousand Corpses. We threw on Forgetting Sarah Marshall and just watched that.
Probably the weirdest time because it went from like Rob Zombie.
Oh yeah, to just up to here to just still up to here with raunchy comedy, but that was. Oh, it's a good movie. That's a good rom-com, but
it had Paul Rudd.
That's probably one of my favorite rom-coms, to be honest. That isn't an Adam Sandler because my all-time favorite is 50 First Dates.
50 First Dates is great.
It's so good. But yes, I also went and saw Broken Hearts Gallery, so that's a newer movie. I think I will give a little quick rundown on it, non-spoiler, just kind of. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
like it was a good just romance, very average, not going to be remembered or anything. But I told everyone here this. The cinematography in that movie was too good for the actual movie. Like the cinematographer, speaking of, let's look him up because literally it was a gorgeous movie and
he did his best for like an A1, like for a semi-good script.
Yeah.
Or for
also,
like a
crazy
script.
Like it was weird to see that it was executive produced by Selena Gomez. Which, good for her.
Producing now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, honestly.
That's what a lot of her stuff is doing. Like I think she stopped acting fully, and then just the last movie I think I've seen her was the one with like James Franco in it, Vanessa Hudgens, whatever that movie was called. It was like their Spring Break. I think that's what it's called, Spring Breakers.
Okay,
something like that.
It. Alar Kivillo. Dude, you killed it. It was awesome.
For a really shitty movie, you killed it.
It wasn't S word. No, it wasn't shitty.
Oh, my bad. I forgot.
It wasn't bad. It was just very average. But like I recommend all your girlfriends go watch it cuz like you'll cry. Well, no, I mean just the girls and the other group of girls cuz you're right, we don't. But
he does.
No.
He does.
No. But yeah, I would honestly give that maybe like a solid 5 or 6 out of 10.
5.
Like it was better than Mulan and Antebellum. So let's jump right into that.
Yeah.
Which one do we
Good transition. That was great.
Which one do we want to start with?
Which one was the worst one for you?
Antebellum.
Yeah, let's start with Antebellum. Let me get that up.
Because
oh my god.
Because Mulan, like just to hop to Mulan for a little bit, it's a story we know, and there's the basis of just nostalgia there, and we can talk about that more in a second after we talk about Antebellum. So Antebellum, a movie this was, I guess.
It had a start and finish.
It did.
I think that's the best thing you can do for a movie.
Oh, I mean,
well, the thing is, it barely started and it's somewhat finished.
I mean, yeah, it was. Yeah, because it almost. We'll start non-spoiler. Let me. I'll pull up a synopsis. I mean,
the girl dies.
We can give a synopsis, but literally, it's this girl. Her name's Veronica. Janelle Monáe. She's
She's
a very successful author. She's very like
for Black women,
like pro
for free
like,
speech.
Yes, which awesome. Like, but
that's not the criticism that we have for the movie, though.
Yeah, like I mean, no yeah, like
that kind of stuff. I don't mind. It's just that the way they did this movie.
Yeah,
that was kind of bothering me.
It's just like there's something going on. The movie wakes up and we're in Antebellum era Civil War, like South. So it's very racial. Like she's an actual like slave.
Yeah.
I guess this is almost spoilers. What we said,
yeah.
But
I mean, it's completely.
This
fine.
is. She wakes up there, and that's how the movie starts. But like, and just this crazy stuff is going on, and we don't know what's like real, what's not until a little bit into the movie. But like, honestly, I kind of want to just talk like characters. Yeah. The only character I would say that matters at all is Janelle Monáe. None of the other characters. There's some like little side pieces, and I'm not literally for this. I'm not gonna look up any of the other names. Janelle Monáe. Her name's Veronica.
For everyone that was in there, even like her best friend, the big lady. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even for her best.
She
friend.
Actually, I didn't say this earlier. Have you seen the movie Precious?
No.
I've heard I haven't either, but apparently it's a very good drama, and it's about her. She's a bigger lady. She's having her second kid, and apparently it's a pretty good drama. I think it's on HBO Max, so I think I'll give that a watch. Because like, unfortunately, if that movie's good, she was not good in this. Her character was annoying and just very like, just
she was unbearable to watch.
It's just like, ow. Like, I don't know what you're doing with this.
For the short amount of time that she was in there, she was there for like maybe 5 or
probably
8 minutes.
Yeah.
And she just was not like a likable character. Mm-mm. But then again, they're just like throwing away.
But all the other characters, like I don't feel like got much time. Like this movie felt very weird just because of the mystery and it all. Yeah. Like I don't know. Like let's try and keep it non-spoiler still, just for a little bit.
We can keep it like that.
Like I just don't know what this movie was going for. Well, we can talk about it. It's double directed by these guys named Gerard Bush and Christopher Renz. Yeah, they wrote it as well, and
5 other people, I think, or 3 other people. There was like 5 writers on there or something like that.
Yeah, probably. But like these guys are definitely a director duo, and it looks like they mostly stick to like almost music videos and stuff. Yeah, maybe some shorts. It definitely looks like some shorts. And
this movie was shot like a music video. There was a lot of.
It almost does have a short feel to it as well. Like it definitely feels like this. Oh, this is like a drama horror like short. Also, one thing. Movie's not scary.
No.
Not a horror.
No, it said it was horror and thriller.
Like thriller? Okay, it could pass for thriller, maybe. But not really.
Just a maybe. That's a very kind word.
And that's something I think we can talk about actually is just like expectations. I don't know what you had seen before this movie came out.
Nothing. I didn't expect anything about this movie.
And I put it together. I'll look like an idiot, but literally I mentioned like I swear Jordan Peele was attached to it. He wasn't. It was in the first trailer. It says, "Oh, from the producers of Get Out and Us." So I'm like, "Oh, Jordan Peele." But it never said his name explicitly, and it was just also it follows the themes of like race that he follows. So I was like, "Oh, maybe But
it was very similar to that. And I was looking into this, and I just saw that they were inspired by Get Out.
I definitely feel a very similar Get Out like vibe to it. It's definitely almost different tempo and pace, but it's just this movie was something. But my expectations I did think it was a Jordan Peele movie, or at least it was from the same people. So I was like, it can't be that bad. Like I didn't like Us very much. I still thought it was a decently it was a good movie overall. And Get Out was great, but
it left a lot of questions.
But it was just this was not that. They were going for that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Everything about this movie felt amateurish. I don't mean to trash on them personally.
No.
Like I don't mean to trash on the directors.
We couldn't do that.
No.
Like make something like this, because I said it to you a couple of times. Like, oh, that's a good shot. Like that's a very like pretty well done. Like the set piece, everything, but everything up to this point didn't really matter.
Yeah.
So I think with that, we'll hop into kind of spoiler territory, I guess, because there's not much else to talk about.
Wait, as part of the non-spoiler stuff, I think we should talk about is like someone who just watches the movie. What would you say if you were watching this movie, just someone to watch it, not like criticize it in every way? How would you tell this to anybody else? Would you recommend it?
I would not recommend this to anyone.
Okay.
Like or like if I were to try, I'd be like, it's got similar vibes to Get Out. Like if I had to make someone watch this movie, I'd be like, oh, it's kind of got similar vibes to like Get Out. Like you should watch it, but it's not.
If I had to tell, if someone asked me about this movie, I'd just tell them like, this is a movie that you can play on your phone with while it's playing in the background.
This would be good background noise.
Yeah,
for sure. It's a movie you don't have to pay attention to at all. Like, and you can still follow along.
Yeah.
Like
it does the very basic movie thing, like every time where they count this as horror, but they really just have like 2 or 3 jump scares.
And not even
like all of them were pretty bad.
There's some intense scenes, sure, and even like some very like morally dark, like it strikes me to my core, like, oh, this is awful. But like
I wouldn't mind showing this if I had a child or something. Like maybe he's like 10 or 11. I wouldn't mind showing this movie. I'm being serious. Like it wasn't gory.
I would agree
with
in a sense that like, yes, this movie was rated R, and that there are some much worse R movies out there. So I guess in a sense, like, but
any like if there was like in any of the other slave related movies, like 12 Years a Slave or like Quentin Tarantino's Django Unchained, I couldn't show that to my kids. I would probably show it to. I won't even show it to my mom.
This one I could probably it's funny. My mom showed me 12 Years a Slave, and we both watched it and cried.
Really?
Yeah, we were like, oh God. Yeah,
I think my mom would watch it. 12 Years a Slave. I think she would watch it because like Oprah said it was like good or something.
Yeah, I mean that's a great movie. I mean I wouldn't mind talking about that at some point. But yeah, like this movie, we're gonna hop into spoilers, I guess now. But he was back to your point real quick of like it's just kind of like it can be just kind of played.
Yeah.
I literally watched Mulan and Antebellum. I had them both playing at the same time because I had to watch both so we could talk about them. So I got them both. And maybe, honestly, maybe bad on me. Maybe someone won't like that I did that because it may have taken away from the experience. But honestly, from the consensus, it looks like no one liked either of these movies. I mean, I'm sure someone liked them.
Antebellum got like what, a 5.7?
I think it was a 5 points on IMDb. It was like 5.6.
Yeah.
And Mulan got 5.5, and then their Metacritics were
like 64, 67 or something like that.
I think Antebellum was like a 40 something. But
oh yeah, that's right. It was like
and
45.
Then Mulan was a 60 something. Yeah. So, but yeah, spoilers kind of Antebellum. Like this movie was just. It was easier to follow. It was more coherent than Devil all the time.
Yeah, that's true. It was so much easier to follow because you have one character that's like.
Yeah, like, and that's something you can kind of commend them on, is like sticking with one character for the most part. But yeah,
this movie did not follow. I'm not gonna say it did not follow, but at least it had the standards of like movie making or like writing. But all throughout, it felt like it was rushed. Like there were scenes where the character or the actor needed to pause for a line, and then he just continued.
Yeah. It was like the first slavery section we have. Yeah. Felt like they were just trying to get to the next part, to the present day stuff, and it felt the same way once it got to the present day stuff. It felt like it was trying to get to the next section of your slavery, like the slavery stuff. And the movie starts off with a quote. what was his name?
William Faulkner.
Faulkner, yeah. This the past is never dead. It's not even past, and like that's very.
They literally. I'm sorry. I know I am. No, they literally say that. In the movie.
She said it to like one of her friends.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that made me upset.
I mean I didn't. Unfortunately, I thought Antebellum. Oh, I was like, whenever this trailers for this first came out, I'm like, that's a cool name. I've never heard that before. But then I was like, oh, that's like racial stuff. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Like, that's not that cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, you get why, because the whole thing, like, big twist. We're gonna reveal it right now, so we can just kind of talk about it. The slavery sections are actually happening in present day because these white people are trash and want to belittle the African Americans and like make them think how I think they were kind of going for the sense like they would kidnap them and almost make them think they dreamt it. Like,
no, I think they were going for the they were trying to kind of gain power or trying to get that power from back in what is that called? What is that flag called?
The Confederate flag.
Yeah, Confederate,
which is racist.
Time. Yeah. So
that
like
may
that
be
time,
controversial, but that flag is racist.
No, like that at that time, that's what they were trying to do for this movie. Not this movie, but those people that run that place. They were just trying to kind of recreate that era.
And which is awful. And like the people that were doing it are awful. But like at first, like when you're first watching the first section, it's like, oh, this is like the past. This is the actual 1800s. And then it like you hear a cell phone ring at one point as Janelle Monáe is going to sleep after this guy like rapes her, and you hear a cell phone ring, and then she wakes up in her own bed and hears a cell phone ring. So you're like, what happened there? Is she well? And that's where I was thinking like, oh, they're going for like the thing like she's dreaming, like, and it's just like a mental game they're playing with them, but they're actually living this.
I never actually got that entire movie. All I could think about the movie was like the entire time before the twist, the entire time all I could think of was how are they going to transfer back and forth? Because like if they did this in a dream state, I think they would have have established that at the very beginning. Like especially let's say that word, the saying, if that was like something else, like it was dream related or something and not time related, I think that would have made sense if they did it like dream wise. But no, the entire movie, I was kind of expecting the Westworld kind of.
Like they're in like a
theme
whole
park
separate
almost.
world, which would have been like. Well, I liked the twist, to be honest. Like I didn't like the movie very much. I thought it was a great twist, but it just the build up to it wasn't very good.
No.
But
this could have been a more like wow kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, there just wasn't. So like talking about how it can draw us from Get Out and Us, like the twists there like have so much build up, and you're like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Oh my god! And even if those twists you felt like underwhelmed, there was still build up, and like you still felt something. This one it's kind of like, oh okay, that's it. Like
it doesn't make you think that there's going to be a twist. It makes you think of what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Like throughout this movie, you could just tell that there's going to be a twist at the end.
And it's just very
distracting.
I would agree. It's just, and again, just following that one character, Janelle Monáe, was helpful, but it was still just a mess. Like, but yeah. And then like at the end of the movie, we realize she breaks out. She gets out because she gets kidnapped after she reverts back to the present, and she is brought back, and she's like, something's up. This isn't right. Like, and so she like finds a phone and realizes and puts it all together and escapes, and she gets out and runs through an actual like Civil War reenactment. And like holding an axe, looking badass. That was one of the shots. I was like, that looks so cool. Like literally, like there's explosions. It's so like pretty, but it's like the buildup wasn't there. Like it's just like there's no like, oh, she's victorious.
It had a payoff at all.
Yeah, it's like she is victorious, and like we got our resolution, but it's like I didn't feel like yes, like
the payoff almost wasn't. It didn't almost worth it. It didn't feel like it was worth it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of words.
Yeah.
Shut up,
It just didn't feel like it was worth, like, I don't know. I did feel like it was worth it. Like she killed the assholes and
yeah, that's true.
And like, but
the entire time I was okay. You heard me earlier because we were watching this together. You heard me earlier just being like, dude, just go inside somewhere, like just while she was on the phone.
Yeah,
because they're really making like this really dumb decisions of just like being in the side.
Yeah, they were like trying to be sneaky when like she didn't need to be. Like, oh, and so also like I was thinking while we were watching it, like how long was she in there? Because
that's
the whole thing of her walking on the steps or whatever, like to not make a noise, like I wouldn't have thought of that, like maybe ever.
Yeah, no.
But like she definitely didn't think of that like the first time she was there. So like how many times, and that's what I'm thinking, like her friend, the one girl she like hog ties and drags and slams into the statue or whatever. She oh yeah,
that was pretty bad.
It was but it's also like, yes, kill that bitch. Oh, I said a beat the bad word.
So you also said asshole.
Oh man. No, we're not doing whole dollars.
No, not a whole dollar. Too much.
Yeah, that'll fund our set and stuff. But yeah, like she kills her or whatever, but like even that didn't have much payoff. And that's definitely not what I was saying. What was I talking about?
Her friend.
Yes, her friend. Like they were definitely friends, or like for a little bit. Like this had to have been happening more than once, and it would make sense that I think they were like business partners or something. So like anytime she'd go on a business trip, boom, she's back in, like, I guess we could call it like Annabelle. It's
like the poor man's Westworld.
Well, we could literally call it, I think it was called like Antebellum, like
reenactment park.
Yeah, like they literally go back to Antebellum essentially. And like the one thing you said, it's definitely like, why didn't they just like, no one's gone that far back in the park?
Okay, so that was one of the criticisms that we talked about, because like literally the park where it resides, like the whole like area where the slave thing was happening, it's literally just a few miles away from the actual entrance to the reenactment park. So like anyone could have just wandered off for a few miles, or like went hiking or something and just stumbled upon that. Like, how does no one just see that?
Yeah, it's they're just so good, I guess. I don't know. But it was literally like she rode on horse for like a couple minutes. So in movie time, maybe like I'd say 10 miles maybe at best.
I can see that.
And like boom, there's no one's seen that. I call BS. Well, and it's just. But yeah, she's victorious. She gets out, and it looks like they play a few clips of like the FBI investigating, so that it gets shut down. That's great. And like, boo racism, but like,
I don't think there was anything else after that. That was it. Like they added 2 clips at the end.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3, and they're like, oh, and it looks like they were taking notes. But yeah, it was just,
we don't see her back with her family at all.
They figured it out.
I'm sure.
But yeah, happy ending for I would say it is a dark movie, like but it's just like, this is a short film in a sense.
Quality.
Yeah, not even quality. Like it's just a short film idea dragged out to an hour 45.
Yeah.
Like this could easily be a 30 minute, like a TV episode.
Yeah.
Could have been like, I don't know about Black Mirror, but like almost. It kind of has that.
No, it can actually be a Black Mirror episode. I can see it.
Maybe a little bit better twist, but
and more technology.
Yeah. So, but overall, like I think there's not much more I have to say about it. It was just kind of a movie. We watched it, and I mean, I enjoyed it for the most part. Like I would enjoy any movie I watch. Like I didn't like the Broken Hearts Gallery I was just talking about. Like I watched it, I enjoyed it. I found something I liked in it, the cinematography. Yeah. The one scene I will say that I loved was whenever one of the guy vapes or whatever. He's like looking at the moon. He's just chilling. He's just vaping.
He's vaping in the middle of the cornfields. And that was probably the most like throwaway thing I've ever seen. Yeah. Like, it just threw me off.
He's just chilling. And then I feel like that's just kind of cements that like, oh, this is the actual like the present. We've been in the present the whole time.
It's kind of I think throughout the movie though, it does kind of there's like things in there that throws me off, and I think it's mostly the costume part and like the people in it, because like some of the extras look way too young to be in there, or they don't look of era, and I don't know if there's like a specific.
I mean that's fair, but it's almost to show the fact that like, oh, like these aren't of era people. We're in the present. Like this is
if they did that on purpose, like to throw you off, to kind of like give you that.
I mean, that's good.
Feeling, that would be a good thing,
and I'm sure they did. To be honest,
I'm hoping they did.
Yeah, but like overall, movie's not so great. That's what the conclusion. Right. But yes, I had my hopes up, but
I saw an article about this movie. It was from The Guardian, and I'm assuming the writer is black, because he was like, or they were like, I'm not speaking for all black people. I'm just speaking for myself or whatever. He was like, I'm tired of like slave movies, because they have the same kind of format throughout. Yeah, it's just how miserable it is, how terrible it was, and this movie kind of doesn't just highlight that. It actually highlights
today
Black Power. Yeah,
like
today,
stuff
like
going on now. Yeah. Like, yeah, definitely.
What was the initial release date for this movie?
I believe it was October. No, it had to have been earlier than that. I think it was. Let me look it up. I think I looked at it earlier.
Yeah. Did they like do this twice? Did they push it back?
Yeah, they did. This definitely got pushed back.
Okay. No, I honestly, if this was the first like tippy toe into big movies, I think they did a pretty decent job. I mean, there's 2 of them, so I can only assume what the creative differences would have been. Because like I'm assuming if you have 2 directors, they have to have had like somewhat of a difference in creativity.
Well, like how the scenes I don't know. It looks like they literally do everything together.
Oh, well.
Like that, everything like they'd done on like their IMDb page matched up. So
okay, well, good for you then, because I would have a hard time with like having 2 directors. Dealing with 2 directors would probably. I
don't know. A lot of movies kind of have more than one director. Like that's what an executive kind of producer is at some point.
No, executive producers can just be assholes. Because like they tell like the corporate's like, hey, we don't want this part. Can you just tell them that? And then he has to tell them like, you can't do this. Fuck your creativity. Oh wait, no, I just said the F word again.
Screw your creativity, executive producer said. Frick you.
Frick you. We don't want your creativity in here.
Don't see it. Just because I'm watching this trailer. I guess some kind of trivia. In the beginning, there's like the little girl skipping towards the
movie trivia, yeah.
The house or whatever. Yeah. She is wearing like the same dress, or maybe not the same. It's a yellow dress, and her daughter's wearing a yellow dress as well. So I thought that was kind of parallels.
Whoa.
Since I have not seen any trivia or even have like a little fun fact or something, we're just gonna go on to IMDb.
Wait, hold on. I want to talk about like scenes specifically that we hated, because I know we saw that one in the elevator with the little girl.
That was so weird.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? Sorry, I'll mute them myself. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't. In the guy with the flowers.
Yeah,
and I think that was like mind games or something. I don't know. It's supposed to, or maybe some symbolic thing that we just didn't pick up. But yeah, that girl just kind of showed up and
and then she just kind of went, "You're not supposed to talk when you're not spoken to," and she goes,
"Shh." Well, I think the whole thing is she was. I got it. Actually, I think I can answer that right now. That girl, I think, is the main bad girl's daughter, and that's just how she's raised. Okay. She's like she's bad, but like she just is like black people aren't supposed to talk unless spoken to, is what she's like saying, and like.
Okay, there's another thing that I just realized. The part where she goes into the white lady, she basically breaks into the hotel room, and she just kind of throws everything out and then doesn't have the lipstick. Like, what was that about?
I don't know.
Because like she just literally waltzes in there and just starts breaking things, and she's just like,
I think it's again she's just upset about her having some power or whatever.
I guess she's just jealous, but
yeah,
I wouldn't do that to anybody I was jealous about. Like, who just walks into someone else's like hotel room and starts taking some of the shit and just putting them on the floor, like throwing them on the floor, or like take their lipstick. Like, that's not cool, dude. That was a really cool looking lipstick. It had a lip in it.
So
it had a lip.
I'm just reading the first IMDb. The Gerard Bush got the idea from a nightmare he once had. He initially thought it would be a good basis for a short story. Probably should have done that. But he later developed it with his co-director into a screenplay for a feature film. Janelle Monáe's first feature film.
Is it?
Yeah, she's done... I think one of her albums is actually like a whole movie or whatever, but that's her first like lead in a feature film. Yeah. Ooh, that'd be a good name for the feature something.
Yeah,
like, and because that's what they kind of mean, featured podcast. I don't know. Something
we'll work on it.
Yep, featured.
Look at us in the
TBA
process.
Featured. Yeah.
Wait, that would mean that we'd have a feature.
My nose is a pretty big feature. I just look at it. Look at my
nose is a pretty big feature.
Look at my I am a bird. Everyone look.
Wait, Matthew, can you beat it?
Bird.
Can you beat his nose? Hold on.
Bird.
Look that way, Matt. Will.
Dude, I don't know. I think I kind of got you beat.
Yeah, I think Will has you beat.
I'm pretty birdie, but yeah.
Big nose award goes to Will.
Yeah, but also it never had a release date. Like it was just said 2020.
I feel like this movie was probably, I don't think this was intended. I hope it's not. I hope it's just slated for Netflix, but I feel like this was intended for Netflix.
No, it was definitely. I was definitely supposed to be theaters because I remember like, I wonder. God. I was This is probably one of my higher anticipated movies this year. Yeah. Unfortunately, it was not good. But
there are better Netflix movies than this, and they're like they've spent more money on that.
And apparently, last one, and then we'll give it a final rating and hop to Mulan. Horror films, including The Shining, Silence of the Lambs, served as inspiration. I don't see that at all. Don't see that at all. There was a hotel.
Silence of the Lamb?
There was a hotel.
Yeah, that's about it.
The Shining. And for Silence
Jefferson Suite.
So for The Silence of the Lambs, people died. I don't know. There wasn't cannibal. I don't know what. Whatever. No, he had a dream. That was the inspiration. All right. Well, good for him. Yep.
Good dream. $15 million dream. Good job.
Well, pretty cheap, and
that is actually pretty cheap for a movie.
Yeah. So
for a feature.
Honestly, I'm going to give this movie a 4 out of 10.
Yeah. That's very generous.
Yeah.
3.9.
3.9. It was not great. Movies.
It was not great for a feature,
actually. You know what?
Theater release.
Scratch movie. That 3 because I wanted it to be good.
You had expectations.
I had expectations for this. I really did. It's also because I thought Jordan Peele was attached to it until today.
It probably would have been better if he was attached.
He would have been able to build it more or whatever. But yep. So final thing for Antebellum. 3 out of 10.
3.9.
3.9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this was a Netflix movie, it would have passed.
Yes.
Like it would have been.
It may have gotten a 5. Yeah. But so that's why
highly ambitious.
Antebellum gets a 3
on average.
That's our Antebellum section. So now we're gonna hop over to Mulan. This is, I would say, Disney's first.
This is their first PG-13 movie, actually.
Well, that's not true. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Actually, no. What I'm saying is like the remakes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Even though they had a beast on the last one, and he got all scratched up, but this one's PG-13, I guess.
I would give this one PG-13.
Okay.
But
R. That would have been so
I guess non-spoiler type stuff for Mulan for a little bit. It's a remake. Disney loves doing those right now.
I don't even want to call it remake. I almost want to call it like a reimagined.
Yeah, this is a retelling, not a remake. Because most of and that would probably go for Dumbo as well.
Yeah,
it was definitely a reimagining.
Yeah,
similar plot, but story kind of redone in a sense. But
it had the character Mulan in it.
Yes, it did. So they're covered. They can call it Mulan now.
They can call it Mulan as long as there's an Asian lady called Mulan. It's Mulan.
It's Mulan. But yeah, it's Disney's first amongst the pandemic is what I was gonna say, and I think I'm almost happy this movie did not do well because I don't want movie theaters to go away.
No, this movie did in China like the first day it did like 1.26 million in China, and then like 26 million in the weekend over the weekend or like in the 3-day weekend in China, and then like on Labor Day it did like 33.5 million.
Dang.
Like dollars, not people.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff though is like not accounting pirated stuff, because a lot of people I think are just doing that because it's like $30.
$30, which I get, because also you get to keep it once.
Do you?
Yeah, it's pretty much buy to own. Like
they do release it on December 4th, my birthday.
No,
2020. Yeah, they're gonna release it December 4th.
So yeah, but you will have it if it's ever taken off. I think, I think they said something like that.
It's a exclusive thing. Get
Premier access.
Yeah. But so that's gonna be their thing.
This is the first amongst the crazy times we live in, and I'm happy it didn't do well because I don't want theaters to go away. And because have you seen, just kind of side note, like the big I've gotten a lot of ads or even seen them on TV, like big movies are back, and it's a Tenet ad just to try and get people to see it, because like that's some of the only things that we're showing. But it's this movie wasn't very good.
No.
That's why I'm almost glad I was telling when that we did Antebellum and Mulan in the same episode, because they both weren't very good and there wasn't much to talk about in a sense. So, this Mulan, directed by Nikki Caro.
That's her this is actually kind of her first, like,
I think,
big budget movie. This movie had a budget of 200 million.
It's a lot.
That's a big, and it didn't even look like 200 million.
Yeah, just like, because that's not really a spoiler. A lot of the effects looked rough.
No.
If they looked a little bit better, I would have rated this a little higher, which we'll get to ratings. But it's just like, some of them when I was watching it earlier, like I would go frame by frame, and I'm like, this just looks so clunky. Like, what is going on?
It felt unfinished almost.
Yeah. Like they were almost trying to get it out. Like they finished it and was like, oh, that looks good. We'll get it out now. And I mean, had to have been, because they wanted it in theaters back in. I could probably look that one up because I know a release date had to have been March or something.
It was probably around. I want to know. It was probably for the summer.
It was summer.
Yeah. Because like that's a big time for a lot of Disney movies. I mean, besides like holiday stuff, which
June 19th. Wait, no, that is the first Mulan.
Oh, okay.
But that sounds right.
Yeah. The 1998 Mulan.
March 9th. See, I have March.
Okay, you got it right.
March 9th.
So it is about in between like the holiday.
Yeah, because what would have been Disney's big summer would have been Black Widow.
There was another one. It was like they had a release for it on Disney Plus.
Probably got pushed back. So.
I don't know anymore.
Just another side note, no Marvel movies this year. Big sad.
Yeah, first time
since 2009.
I mean, they have the Marvel TV shows, but that doesn't count.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see. You never know. WandaVision may get pushed back. I doubt it. I'm pretty sure it's done and they're just going to release it. But back to Mulan. Yeah. This movie's very just...
Let's recite the original first, right? Like, what did they get right in that movie?
The music.
Some of the best
characters. The
characters had more of a development throughout the movie.
And that's one thing. Lion King had the exact same problem. When you bring it to live action, you can't show as much expression and like emotion and stuff in these animated characters, because they can be overdone. They can have like,
they can be exaggerated.
Yeah, and like, so it's just a little bit. But the thing is, this movie has magic. They've got chi, like.
God damn that Cheeto. She uses it like a superpower.
That Cheeto. I love
Cheeto,
Cheetos.
That freaking Chi. If you guys ever decide to watch this movie, like, Matthew and Jacob, if you guys ever decided to watch this movie, just watch it like a superhero movie, because this is basically what it is.
Okay, just a little side thing, because like thought this movie, I was hoping this movie would be good because I love the original, and like I knew it was gonna be retelling. I think they announced back in 2018 they were making it, and it, not soon after it was like no music and no dragon, no Mushu, no Eddie Murphy. So I was like, and that's disappointing, but I was like, we'll see. We'll watch the first trailer, and in the first trailer, it's got the witch lady. Yeah, what's her name? When you may have to say it, because
I don't know. I think that's it. Witch.
No. She has a name. She
has a name.
Xian Yang.
Let me look it up.
That it's Xiannniang.
Wait, are you talking about the character or the actress?
The character. The character.
Zhan Yang.
Zhen Yang. Yeah.
Zhan Yang.
They show a thing in one of the earlier trailers of her like doing magic stuff. I'm like, okay, I can get down with this. It even in the trailers, I was like, that looks good, and then in action, it did not look good. So, but like, I was excited for this new character I hadn't seen before. But even their little plot, which we can get into, wasn't very necessary.
They really tried to get away with like trying to be grounded in reality, but like having the magic stuff. Yeah. Like, they really tried to make it like that. But even, like, the cartoon was even more grounded than this. Yeah,
definitely. Like, and there was a dragon in that.
Yeah, there was a dragon in that, for God's sake. And then they had...
I don't know. There was the ghost, which was also not... The ancestors, which were not in this either.
The bad guy, what's his name? What's that?
I gotta sneeze.
Yeah, Bori Khan.
Bori Khan.
The bad guy in the Bori Khan in... like the 1998 Mulan was even more grounded. They had grappling hooks. Yeah. This one, they just run up walls.
They ran up walls, which was also in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler.
No, it's not a spoiler. I'm just saying. It was pretty bad. A lot of the stuff that they had in this movie, they kind of took from the original. They kind of took away. Mm-hmm. There's no actual like reason as to why some of the characters aren't even there. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons what they had for the dragon was because they wanted it to be more appropriate for Chinese culture, or like it somewhat related to Chinese culture. But the phoenix isn't even a phoenix in China. It's actually something else. It's Fan Huang or something like that. It's somewhat similar to a phoenix, but it's not even a phoenix. So they call it a phoenix in the movie. So I'm just being like
a little picky.
Yeah,
which is fair.
Yeah, because this movie, you can pick a lot in this movie because they don't even have the cricket. God damn it.
They've got a guy named Cricket, so therefore they have cricket. They have
cricket. Yep.
But yeah, I think we'll hop to spoilers because it's very.
I'm about to get heated.
Yeah, this movie starts off, and I liked how they introduced it. They're like, you've probably heard the story of Mulan, and it's always like told differently, but this is my story. This is how I saw it or whatever, because it's the dad telling it. And it's like, okay, I kind of like that. I can get behind you making, and Disney almost making an excuse that it's not like a remake. Yeah. It's like, a retelling. I was like, okay, I can get down with that. So I really enjoyed that. But it was just, this movie felt weird. I liked the colors. There's some good colors in this movie.
The movie felt like it had a very standard color. Because like when you look at like, for example, my camera, I could probably just set the in-camera stuff to that kind of color.
Which you're probably right, but I think there was a lot of sections where they had like one extravagant color. Like when the like, what are they called? What were the bad guy, the group called? Well,
it was a house something. Hold on, let me look this up because I actually wrote this down.
The Bori Khan's crew.
Bori Khan's crew is...
It's something Aura or something, I believe.
This is the wrong notes.
But while he looks at that, it's just there'd be scenes like when they first attack. It's like the guards have this armor on, and it's got accents of like blue, and I was like, that looks good. But what?
The names are the Rurans.
The Rurans, yes.
The reason for that is because like it wasn't during the Han Dynasty.
Yeah.
So they had to change it to the Rurans. And that's why the song defeat the Huns or whatever.
Yeah.
I still can't stop thinking. Jacob, you remember the defeat the nuns? Oh my God, I cannot. While watching this movie, I could not stop thinking about that at all. This is just a bit of an inside joke for us, but yeah.
We sang a song.
Yeah, some of the my leg. So some of the colors in this movie was very pretty. I agree with that. It's just that I don't think it also fit the theme for this movie at all.
Well, I think some of the colors kind of did. Some of them not at all. I would agree. But it still looked good in a sense. But
some of Mulan's robe, I guess, in this movie, it was so freaking bright. It was bright red.
Yeah.
And like they're already catching arrows and dodging arrows. Yeah. She's just a big target the entire movie.
Just because we're talking about like that scene whenever she's wearing the robe or whatever, and she's just going animal on some Rurans. They have like the instrumental of My Reflection playing, and she's like throwing spears at people, and I'm just like, my reflection shows, and she's like killing people, and I'm just like, what is going?
She's floating through air. She's like floating like a
using her chi. Yeah, and I'm just like, oh my God, not just come up with some new music.
This one, I want to say that this movie was a better Avatar movie than the Avatar Last Airbender movie.
Kind of. I definitely
using her chi. Like it's like the Avatar state.
There's definitely some scenes where I was like, they're gonna like bend. Like whenever he first talks to her about chi, I'm like, is he about to like do some earth bending or something? I was like, that's okay. I'm here for it. Let's do it.
I mean, Jet Li did do the whole cloth bending.
Oh.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was just like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. I loved watching that.
But it didn't look good. Just to back to like this.
No.
But just I feel like we haven't said it, but just like a synopsis, it's pretty much the same story, just like different.
It's just different ways of doing
different villains. They've got the side villain of the witch.
And you're supposed to care about her because women power, but.
I mean, I wasn't even that. I feel like it was just like, I mean, there was that connection between her and Mulan because they're both like these strong women, and they almost like, the men didn't want to see them in power or whatever. Yeah. But like, pretty much. Yeah. I guess you're right. It's just like, I wanted to like that character more. I'm not gonna try and say her name.
No, I remember I remember just watching the entire movie. I remember right in the middle of the movie, it was her, the witch, and Mulan just talking or whatever. Like, you can be a woman in power and all that stuff. And then, like, I feel like they were, Disney being Disney, I feel like they were trying to make you care about their connection.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, like, she becomes, like, the emperor or empress, I guess. And then she's, like, and then Mulan, like, it got her like 2 seconds for her to switch, and like after that she sacrificed herself in front of Mulan. It's like, why?
There wasn't enough connection there for that to be cared about, or even again just another like not looking good. I told you when I was watching it, like they're like first a shuriken at her or whatever, and like Mulan gets hit by it, and she's like flying back like this, and then like she flies into a rock, and as she's about to hit a rock, she like flips into it or whatever, and it just does not look good whatsoever. So
I don't think Nikki, what's her name? I'm sorry, I don't mean to disrespect your name, Nikki Caro. She's a New Zealander, by the way. Nikki Caro, I don't think she's a very good action director.
I could see that.
Yeah, I don't think she did a very good job with any of the action in this movie.
Because it looked like a lot of the like stunts, you could say, were definitely just the characters being animated.
Yeah.
Like, or just CGI'd in or whatever. Like, it just was not.
Nothing looked natural in the fight scenes.
Yeah, and it's like. Some of it did, I guess, but it was almost a lot of stationary stuff. As soon as someone started moving, it was like, oh, that's not a real person anymore.
Yeah. 1 for 1. Like, seriously, they're catching arrows. Like, they're so quick.
In reality, it was only the Emperor and Boricon, I think.
I think Mulan did it, too, at some point. No, she was dodging arrows. She wasn't catching
arrows. She
didn't unlock that power yet.
Yeah, he caught the arrow and at the end throws it up and she kicks it like
And somehow it's faster than actually in an arrow or a bow.
Oh, and so he couldn't catch it or whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, and that's the only scene I could really think. I guess whenever she's waylaying people to My Reflections, PG-13ish.
No, the song. I really wish they had more song. I really wish that they did the song stuff. In this, because I think that would have made it more fun.
Yeah, there's it definitely. I feel like we have said this for any movie. We didn't. I guess we didn't say it for Antebellum, but this was just missing something.
I know. I think I know why. I know why what's missing. I think it's people being alive. Because everyone in the movie was kind of dead. Yeah, everyone doesn't have very much emotion. They don't have very much emotion at all. They're just there's the one scene where the new love interest they were trying to make was talking to some girl or something, and Mulan's like, oh, she'll like it or whatever, and all this, but it's just I don't care. And it also doesn't emote enough to be oh, okay, yeah. And there's also too many of the ragtag crew. Yeah. Whenever in the original you've got Yao, Po, and Ling, I think, and then Mulan, but then they're just bland. I think there's those four, and then Cricket, and then I think some buff looking guy, and then the commander.
They split the character of the love interest and commander into two. Yeah. And there's just a lot of characters and none of them really emoted. I think the best performance was the commander. Yeah. He very it made me care he fought with Mulan's dad and all this stuff, and maybe it was just the writing, but he definitely it made me care who he was.
More personality to him.
Yeah, and even him trying to teach Mulan and stuff, and it's oh, that's great, that's cool, and made me care about him. He's probably the favorite character, except maybe the witch. I did really like her, even though she didn't have much to do with it and wasn't really needed. Still, just I was really hoping she'd be more.
Yeah, I think the reason why this felt like it was lacking and also distracting, it was probably because of the almost dubbing of the actors. Because if you watch Jet Li in that movie, he sounded like he was struggling.
Yeah, some of them it looked like the lines didn't match up.
No,
it looked like it was being dubbed from
or they had an ADR or something, and they just did a good job.
Something like that.
I understand that when searching for Mulan's actor, they looked into 1,000 different actors or something like that, and then she had to learn English. She had to be good in English, and then she had to be good at martial arts or whatever. But even then, it still throws me off. Her English throws me off, and I'm not trying to be subjective about how other foreign languages speak English. It's just that I don't know what market this is for. I don't understand if this was supposed to be for the Chinese market or if this was for the American market.
I mean, not even to the. I would agree with that, but not even to that. Just, is this for kids? Is this for
because it's PG-13?
Most parents don't really. They'll take a kid to a PG-13. Maybe not an R, but it's just why? It's I feel like it's only directed to the people who saw the original. Yeah, and that's
even
it.
Then they probably hate it. I mean.
I love the original. I was saying, but it's very. The only thing that I found enjoyment in was the little references back to the. And they're very small and far from in between, which we can we'll say as a little fun fact. At the end when she's introduced to the Emperor, it's the original voice actress, which is pretty cool. Yeah. But besides that, it's just there's the only other callbacks. The only other callbacks are, I guess, the cricket, and the music, and I'm sure we missed some, but otherwise there's not much. I'm
trying to remember. But I think that might be it, actually.
I'm sure there's more, but because Disney loves little Easter eggs and all that. Yeah. But it's just there wasn't to the just casual viewer, they wouldn't notice except maybe the music.
Yeah, no,
and cricket.
For any person that's looking into this movie as like, oh wow, they're doing it again or whatever, they're not doing it again. They're just rewriting something, a property that's they're just rewriting an open property.
They took Mulan's story and just did it differently. And I don't think we have much more to say on Mulan, but you want to just talk
pretty shit.
Yeah, we can talk about that for the last few minutes and just like why are they remaking or whatever.
Yeah.
But let's give Mulan ratings. Funny enough, he says 5 minutes left. That's my rating. I give this a 5.
You give this a 5. I give this movie a 3.
A 3?
It was unbearable. I almost didn't want to watch it.
So it was worse than Antebellum?
Almost on par. It's just that Antebellum was short and it wasn't as long as this movie.
Just 10 minutes.
And it was 15 million.
Just 10 minutes. That's true. Budget wise.
No, this was underwhelming.
I would agree. Very underwhelming. So 5 for me and 3 from you.
Yep.
Watch it if you've seen the original.
Wait for the December 4th release because that's when they're coming out on streaming services.
Yeah, don't pay
Disney
for
Plus. Don't pay for it. I paid $30 for this and I regretted it. Like I could have paid so much more. I could have gotten like chicken tenders or chicken nuggets from somewhere.
So yeah,
this McDonald's is doing like 40 piece. Hold on, McDonald's is doing like 40-piece chicken nuggets for like $14, and that's with like 2 large fries, bro.
And with that. I'd rather have some chicken nuggets as well than watch this movie. So yeah, Mulan's very average, but now I think we will hop into talking about just why are Disney making these. Yeah. So yeah, Mulan's pretty just average movie.
Yeah. Underwhelming.
It's probably one of their worst remakes.
Yeah. I think everyone already knew that when they said they were taking out Mushu and
the singing. Yeah, the singing. It just wasn't going to be the same. So, but yeah, we're going to talk about now just like why.
Our little opinion pieces.
Yeah, basically. I'd like also almost to do maybe a little short episode on this now or just remakes in general. But yeah, why are Disney doing it specifically?
So I was looking into this. And I could not, because like I remember someone telling me like they were doing this because Walt Disney wanted them to do like a remake of like properties for like every generation or 10 years or something like that. And I looked into that and there's nothing written about it.
I remember hearing that too. So I don't know. Maybe I heard it from you and you made it up.
I don't know. Maybe it's a theory.
Like short answer, money.
Money. That's really it. Basically, this entire thing is just.
Money.
It's like their version of thinking with their dicks. It's just thinking with their money.
Yeah, money. Yeah, they just want money.
They know that people will watch this.
Like to really, and you know whose fault it is? Alice in Wonderland.
Why is that?
You know how? Take a guess how much the remake of Alice in Wonderland made.
200 mil. 1 billion.
$1 billion.
God.
Why? $1 billion. Like
actually, you know what? That was an all-star cast, though. Johnny Depp was in it.
Yeah. Let me just. Actually, speaking of, I had this idea like a week ago with this remake. I wish I had done it for this piece. This what we're doing right now is to compare like the originals, what it made, gross profit, all that, and almost make like a graph. So. We're gonna come back to this
at some point
and do that and talk about that. But I'm gonna pull up the box office for the remakes.
Yeah, I think this probably underperformed in like the opening weekend. I'm sure over this next year or so, it's probably gonna do better. But that's because it's like a streaming service, like in Disney Plus. So the viewership is probably going to rise. But I think the problem that this movie also has is that there's a lot of people pirating this movie. Yeah. Like, especially in China. I
lie? I may have lied. No, that's domestic gross. I need worldwide gross.
Yeah, in China, they had issues with pirating this movie. I mean, I think there was like a report that I saw that like the police were like telling them that not to show this movie in like theaters, I think. Or it was like in the Disney Plus. I don't remember which one. I'm sure you can find it, but like it was something. This movie has a lot of controversies. I can tell you that much. The background for this wasn't very good.
Just some like highlights for like the remake numbers. Lion King 1.6 billion,
God.
Beauty and the Beast 1.2. Jungle Book was almost $1 billion. It was just shy of it. Alice in Wonderland was $1 billion.
Oh, too bad. Jungle Book, I like Jungle Book.
And yeah, but literally think like, so when you think Disney remakes, what's the oldest one? Like what this trend they're doing right now?
The oldest remake they made?
Like this live action stuff they're doing, not including Alice in Wonderland, because I'm trying to make like a point.
Yeah. Man, I don't even remember.
Because the oldest one I can think of is Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, I think that was like one of the very first. I almost want to say that, like one of the very first.
So that came out in, I believe, 2010.
Wow, I didn't.
No, my bad. That came out in like 2017.
Okay,
but Alice in Wonderland came out in 2010. So that's a 7-year difference, and it made $1 billion. It almost made. It made 200 million less. So I don't know what was going on where people wanted to see Alice in Wonderland, but like, I mean, it was good.
I think it was just a colorful, like.
I mean, I liked it. I just another like one of my favorite characters is definitely the caterpillar. Love that guy. He's so chill.
Yeah. He's always high.
Just vibing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like why? I mean, I almost like I'd love to keep talking about it, but I almost want to do a whole like maybe episode or something on this, like more in-depth research, remakes, and specifically Disney and like live action. And like one thing just to throw it out there is like remaking, like I don't know, when are I can't say the MCU, like when are the Harry Potters gonna get remade? How far down are we gonna have to go for the like don't answer that, we'll save it.
Okay.
And we can think about that, but like that's a question I like. Or the Lord of the Rings, like when are those? Because those we done the Hobbits and the Lord of the Rings. When are those gonna get remade? When are
movies?
Like it's hard. I'd almost say Star Wars too, but like Disney's trying to make that into like a Marvel thing now.
They're trying to branch it out to a franchise.
Yeah, but so we can talk about that on that whenever we do that. I definitely want to do that. That can maybe be a whole segment on maybe a longer podcast or whenever we're more planned, because I definitely want to get kind of in depth with that. But
I do want to leave off with a question though.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about the remakes? Like I want to know what everyone's opinions are, because like I'm very curious. I'm gonna read all through them. Like I want to know. So leave a comment below if you're listening to this. Go to our YouTube channel and just like leave a comment there too.
And subscribe.
You don't even have to watch it.
All that. Actually, didn't even think about this. We gotta think of what maybe we're gonna do next episode.
Oh,
and I think I know what I'd like to do, and it's kind of late for it, but
The Invisible Man.
That's
a movie I want.
The Invisible Man. I mean, sure.
It's just released on streaming too, on Hulu.
Maybe we could do a little extra book club on that for Patreon.
Okay. Oh, I see. Oh yeah, follow our Patreon.
It's gonna be down below. I'm thinking we should do maybe another double, because there's just not much out right now.
A DP.
Let me.
A double penetration.
See. Oh Jesus. I guess
that's how I'm opening the next episode.
Okay, so we're gonna do another double. I think I've decided we're gonna, and because they're the only two things out that I haven't seen, and that because I can't think of anything else on demand releases right now, and we'll actually go to a movie and be safe and wear a mask, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Infidel and Unhinged.
Ooh, okay.
So
I'm ready for those.
So I'll give a little plot for both of those just off my movie app. Unhinged, starring Russell Crowe, a psychological thriller that takes something we've all experienced, road rage, to an unpredictable and terrifying conclusion. So
what do you think's gonna happen? They're gonna die.
Probably. And then Infidel. Infidel is a contemporary political thriller set in the Middle East and filled with suspense and intrigue, inspired by true events and ripped from today's headlines. Ooh. So we're going to watch both of those. I haven't heard anything about either of these movies, so maybe they both will be good and we'll have some good stuff. But because these two movies, not great.
These fucking slap, though. You know?
Those, we're going to go see Infidel and Unhinged because those are the two big movies in theaters. And if there's still nothing coming out, maybe we'll do one on New Mutants let's do that. I want to do New Mutants. Do you want to swap to New Mutants?
Yeah, I want to go to watch New Mutants.
Okay.
Really, I don't know what to expect for them.
You know, I think we'll still do a double. We'll save Unhinged.
Okay.
Because I think that has the most potential.
Okay, so we're watching a superhero movie and then
swap that
real political one.
Swap that. Yes, New Mutants, Infidel. New Mutants, last X-Men in this universe. I've seen it already, but I will definitely go see it again.
The last X-Men in their Fox property, basically.
Yep. Rip. But so watch those so you can listen along and hear what we had to say about. See if
disagree, agree.
Yep, absolutely. So I think that's
send us mail in the PO box. We're also going to set up.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be our episode. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Socials down below, like we talked about in the bottom, in the top of the episode, and Patreon. Please support us. There'll be exclusive content there. We're hoping to get almost a store set up, stuff like that.
We're gonna have after hours in there.
Yes,
it's basically us just screwing around.
Yes,
for a little bit, and then our advanced basically releases.
Yes, like, that we plan. Well, so if we can get scheduling and everything set up almost a week early, or a few days early, because I would hope we get these released out. Once we get caught up and stuff comes out almost weekly, we'll be able to. But yeah, so New Mutants, Infidel, watch them, watch along with us, like, comment, subscribe. I already said all this, but we love you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. I love you. Wait, Jacob, say I love you.
I love you.
That's Jacob. He said I love you.